Oofla Lotuk, friends and your friends, welcome back to Trick in the Future. We're a couple minutes late, but I had some technical difficulties. Yeah, yeah. Oh, oh wow. Yeah, that's cool. You gotta you gotta do a collaboration with her anyway. Or you said a VTuber was it? I just gendered them in my mind. So silly. Okay. So we're talking. This is a well, the podcast is Tricking the Future, and we're talking about the season finale of of Star Trek: Strange New World. Yeah, the new episode of Star Trek: Strange New Worlds. I get caught up in like saying "new" twice in a sentence, but new life or new civilization. Yeah, and yeah, just gonna get to Gopher. It's my bad, guys. But since you brought it up, I believe the poll is it has 55 minutes. So we'll announce the winner in that time. If you'd like to pick which film we're gonna watch, the options are Star Trek Wrath of Khan, Star Trek Generations, Star Trek the 2009 remake, sort of, or Star Trek Section 31, the one where they go in the mirror universe. Absolutely. And if you like to find a link, obviously if you're watching on YouTube, you're gonna miss out. But it's down below. You could damn it's in the chat box. You don't even have to scroll down under the screen. You can continue to watch us. Yeah, I just imagine some of the people who left then like getting a ping. So, anyway, we're talking about the new episode of Star Trek: Strange New Worlds, New Life, New Civilizations, and I really enjoyed this. We got to see your old pal Dana again. He came back. Well, not really him. This entity that possessed him. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And I really enjoyed this episode. Not my favorite, but I'll just say I'm looking over all the ratings I gave, and I think I would give this one an 8. So that's the lowest rating I've gave for any of these episodes. So I this is definitely gonna be doing the math, my favorite episode of Strange New Worlds just by basing on my IMDb rating. And this one, I really appreciated seeing Dana again. I remembered when I can't remember the name of the entity that took over his body. But when they did stop him, they did mention they just froze him in this space, like that, hold him in like this sort of area that the doctor's daughter, sort of the same way they held her, like frozen, and the entity was smart enough to escape and go get back to that prison with the help of the Dr. Benanga again. Um and yeah, obviously it comes back and the crew go and check it out, and the doctor gets stuck in the that prison that we saw back on I'm just looking at the episode through the lens of time. That was really a creepy episode if you recall. And I think one of my favorite parts was when Leon was obviously how to do the Vulcan um pinch, or I forget what it's called in Doctor Chapels. Yeah, and Doctor Chapel's like, man, I want to learn how to do that. That's very funny. Um, and it turns out that Maria, when she got this Gorn DNA, and or I'm not even sure if that 100% had to do with her also becoming connected to that statue that was in the jail place that we saw. She became it. And they talked a lot of their science speak, and that happened. So she had the power to defeat this entity that possessed Dana, because it's like a god almost, not like the dude we saw in the second episode of the season. Yeah, Wedding Bell Blues. Um, I forget his name. But they didn't even say it in the show. They say it in the original series, so he can forgive me for that, right? uh, anyway, he's like Q. It's like a Q character, but yeah, this entity doesn't seem that strong. And Marie ends up defeating it, though we get to see a timeline where, as you were talking about, where Pike it doesn't sacrifice his life and he gets to grow old with Marie instead. That was, yeah. So that man there, yeah, yeah, and yeah, they Marie's able to defeat them, and yeah, they're able to go back to the starship, and yeah, I am excited to see what will happen in season 4. Um, there's a lot going on. See if Marie does continue in her role somehow, or if something happens. I mean, she's got that Gorn DNA. I mean, we saw her eyes for a while; they were like sparkly, like a Gorn's. So that's still that impacting them fusing the Gorn with her saved her life. But yeah, we don't. We're not quite sure what's gonna happen, and um, yeah, I rather enjoyed this episode. Not my favorite, but still, like, you know, all of them are 8 out of 8 for me. I don't know. How about you? Yeah, Oh yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. And um, I'll say, um, I am excited for season 4. I mean, this was such a strong episode, and um, I'm really enjoying the arcs that we got here, especially with Erica. Her, I feel like she's become such a like way more important of a character in this series. Maybe some room was given for her after Hemmer died. I mean, there was a lot of like um characters to follow. I know like some people hate that Hemmer ended up being the main like a main character with the record of the least amount of appearances now because he died in season 1 of Strange New Worlds. Um, but you know, sort of like maybe like Game of Thrones. I've seen that a little bit, but I know there's like things where people just die, right? And yeah, it's like Gundam too. I mean, they to the point where in that show they call it the creator kill 'em all. It's like the joke in that series is if you watch the when you watch the intro, like everyone you see on that screen is gonna die. And actually, it's all eventually gonna happen. It, we did see in the vision like, oh, what would be like if Pike didn't have to sacrifice himself, but eventually, like it's all gonna happen. And I sort of thought like that vision they had together was sort of just to allow Pike to let go of Maria, maybe. But then that was my thought when I was watching it. But I think maybe from what after it was about what we saw after was it was about something else because Pike did consider, well, when we're gone, maybe we're not really gone, and that sort of goes into um the world as will. Um, Arthur Schopenhauer. Uh, when you die, you're not really dead. It's just you're part of the ecosystem in a different way. And that's why I sort of got out of it, though I could understand just maybe the thought that Marie would obviously impact his life in such a way that as long as they remember her, and even after she's gone, like she's had some kind of impact in the future, especially like all of us do, but she's had such a large role in Starfleet being a captain and humanity. And talk about large roles. I think I really appreciate our, the role Debbie plays in getting me caffeinated. Yeah, yeah. I this week I'm drinking Plum Dom. Just figure I haven't drinking in a long time, and I do remember liking it. So I didn't, yeah, hell yeah, dude. And the W does taste good. And I do like it watered down this way. This is a lot more than they suggest, but I do like this. And and I believe it recommends 12 ounces. So I bought a water bottle. I know there's some larger water bottles, about 16, but still, I think it tastes very good with even more water. Like it's way more than 16 ounces. But yeah, I really enjoy it. And Dubby's interesting because they get their caffeine from a fruit extract, which that's something I would like to look more into of how they do that. And oh yeah, so I'm looking here, and it suggests between 10 and 16 ounces of water. Um, red solo cup. And so, um, yeah, I was supposed to get Gopher the comic, and I haven't been working. I'll talk more about that. In the, I'll talk more about that later. Um, Something else to talk about later on that'll be more of the topic at hand. But right now we're talking about the award-winning, Hugo award-winning Lower Decks comic. And we were speculating if the texts that were in the earlier comics Beckett's thoughts, and I thought, all right, this one we're gonna know. But actually, what ended up happening is it's a story based on what Tendi is going through, and we're getting her thoughts. So it's not Beckett narrative. So it wouldn't make sense if the text down there are Beckett's thoughts. Like they wouldn't pop up here. So I thought we'd get the answer here. Not quite, though. That's okay. I think even them not coming back is a like a hint that those words are Beckett's thoughts. And and so I almost said episode. This issue is Tendi. It's funny because Tendi's having a dream that she's having a perfect day and everything's going so wonderful, and then she ends up waking up and like, oh no, I'm late. And in the issue of the comic, she is not sleeping because she's having nightmares, and she says it's sharks, and it ends up being a Ferengi, which I think sort of plays into the idea that Ferengi are like ultra capitalists in the series. I've seen some of Lower Decks. I haven't seen any of Deep Space Nine. I do remember we read that the caretaker, the pocket novel version of the premiere of Star Trek Voyager, and Kim makes the comment, uh, and Paris does too, that oh, you shouldn't deal with Ferengis, like try and barter with them or something. Renegade Cut makes a point that's a little bit racist, and Tendi in the series, he gets upset whenever someone talks about how, oh yeah, the Orions are such cool pirates. And that sort of plays into that, though. I don't know. You know, I haven't seen too much Star Trek, though. Every time I see the Ferengi, they seem to be like a species that wants to maximize their profits. And it doesn't matter if it's cruelty or what it is. Like, maybe, but I do feel like it's kind of a weird thing that they're doing with that. Who was it? Roger Coleman I was watching his videos, and he made the point that issue with Star Trek is the humans always seem to be perfect or right or in the right. I mean, it doesn't always happen. Like Wrath of Khan. No, I won't. I gave some spoilers, so like I don't want to, but yeah, I do see it as an issue. But hey, maybe I'll be proven wrong, and they're not always evil. They're misguided. I mean, I do recall they had like a zoo, and there were I there were caging animals, and Starfleet ended up not in this comic, but on the show, they ended up coming and showing the Ferengis how they can make much more money, like by treating the animals well and making like an open zoo or something. I forget what it was called, but yeah, it's still like the idea of the Ferengis whole thing is how do I maximize profit, and um the idea that they're sharks is cool that they made a homage to, or a reference to Jaws, which just had its 50th anniversary. That's a great film. Hell yeah. But so um this topic I wanted to bring up is how we spend our time. Um yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. 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 Oh hell yeah. I'll join you on that. Yeah. Hell yeah. And yeah, I wanted to bring this up. I felt like that theme of like how we spend our time was came out very strongly in this episode of Strange New Worlds, and in the comic where Tendi is like seems so worried about staying awake that she doesn't spend any time sleeping, which is a really unfortunate way to spend your time because some people die. And I just bring this up because, you know, some people feel like they waste their time, or not waste their time, that there's not enough time. But the Stoic philosopher Seneca, he makes the point that it's not that there's not enough time, it's just that we waste it. And yeah, I definitely feel that. I do. I would say I do waste a lot, but it's just Um, unfortunately, back in July and before that, June, I really burnt myself out trying to do all these things that I do. Like I would tell people, "Oh, I'm a long distance specialist, Treasure Green Party, city council members, chess club." I didn't don't even mention list off the podcast we do here, but that's work I got put into that too. Not as much as maybe Justin, but you know, yeah, it's I was just doing so many things I burnt myself out, and yeah, part I feel like there's times where you need to relax or meditate or something. If you're busy all the time, you're just gonna like yeah, and yeah, oh, I bet. Yeah, dude. I'll mention it. Yeah, I've been drinking. A friend brought a bottle over, and I drank some of that, and it was fun for a while. But the next day, I think I had my first hangover, and that was, that wasn't. Yeah. Oh hell yeah, Kitty. He's always amazed that you have like you keep a bottle for so long, and I know my friends they would like drink it in a day. Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's fine to drink once in a while, but to drink all the time, I mean, I don't think that's a great way to spend your time. Yeah, absolutely. It was. Yeah, and I can't like I just had my first hangover, and I feel like that was a lesson to me that you know it wasn't all just alcohol that I had. I also drank I bought a bottle of soda and drank that too. Like, oh, awful. And so I just dehydrated myself so much. Oh, I bet. And yeah, I feel like I don't want to drink that way again. I mean, it might happen, we'll see. I don't think I want to because just the next day, just having to heal was like so frustrating for me. Although I have been laying around a lot. Like I did get burnout back in June. I haven't been searching for a new job quite yet, but I've been enjoying just laying around for a while. I mean, maybe not enjoying, but having worked for so long, like it's great to just lay down. And I've talked to people when I go on vacation. Sometimes I'm just like, oh, I get to finally just do nothing, and yeah, that's the great thing about it. But yeah, it's not great to just work yourself to death. The billionaires don't do it. I exactly. That's something that we have to think about when we can decide to do what we want to do and make our own dreams or make someone else's dreams. That's just the reality of like being a member of the proletariat these days. And yeah, I don't want to spend my time doing something that harms me as well. I don't think spending time at one of these companies, a standard limited company, that these places operate like monarchies. Like, I mean, I understand if you need to feed your family and you have that situation, but it would be so much better if we had workplaces that are democracies, not dictatorships. It's not fun being told, "Oh, it's the family vehicle, so we're gonna do what we want with it," when that's ridiculous. Or even people expecting you to being at the bottom of the hierarchy to be more virtuous than the people who are leading the company. Like what? Like they gotta be leading by example, not saying, "Oh, do as I say, not as I do." That's so ridiculous. But unfortunately, like I think that the fact that these companies, like I said, operate like monarchies creates that mindset. Um, and anyway, because of that, that's the reason I'm not. Well, I don't say I'm not employed because I still work for the city of Kotzebue, but I've been more free to do town halls and whatnot. And hopefully next week when we watch whichever film wins the poll, will announce that at the end of the stream. But a stream that I will be doing is streaming The Legend of Zelda on my Nintendo Entertainment System. That's up for sale. I have a flyer. I don't know if I have it right here. Oh, hey, the number one viewer. Well, yeah, I made this very nice flyer here. Yeah, $115. Yep. And it's someone asked if it's the original gold cartridge, and it is. It's not something someone made, and you can tell it's old because I don't see like. I mean, it's up on my website www.joshuajhadley.com. There'll be a page for that. Um, but I just wanted to let you know that th- it's not pristine. Some of the paint is faded, and there's some black on there. You can see it on the site, but that just shows it's the original thing. And I, I was worried. I was worried because it didn't work at first. The console was blinking. Um, so what I did was I sprayed. Um, what was it called, a cotton swab with brake clean, and put that in there. Let it dry for a day, and some more messing around. It wasn't working like, at first it was blinking, and then finally the game would play, and after 5 minutes of gameplay, it would freeze, which I can't sell that to people, I would think, and so I was worried, and then, like, there was glitches, but now it works perfectly. It seems like cleaning the cartridge worked. And I was very grateful that the save battery worked too, because if it was the original battery in there, it would be definitely dead. That's what, 40-year-old game now. Yeah, it would be Mario. Yeah, another flagship one. Damn, that makes me want to play that. Oh, well, maybe I'll stream that too. I'll consider. Hell yeah. Anyway, check out my website. I have my contact information on there. Send me an email, and if you'd like to buy it, the price is based off of what I saw, how much they are at. I went to Pink Gorilla in Seattle and saw how much they're selling it at NES, and it's $80. Online, it'd be 100. So if anyone can get it here local, they can save money instead of getting it online. And I based the price of Zelda on how much I bought for it on eBay without shipping. So I'm not even charging you guys for that. Because like I'm fine with that too, because I'm get to enjoy the game, and I'm willing to put money into that. Anyway though, talking about games, you do a gaming channel, right? Absolutely. And the game we're playing is sort of like Dungeons and Dragons. We're messing around with Chat GBT. It's our dungeon master. We're doing a Star Trek type of deal. We're using roll 20 die, or 20 die, or 20 sided die, whatever the term is supposed to be. Um and I'm using. I have to have to open up the site again. I'm using rolladie.net, and Justin had something else. Anyway, you went took the last turn last week, so I'll go checking the unknown episode 6. Save future Justin. The Calliope senior staff are away on a delicate diplomatic mission, leaving the ship's lower decks crew, ensigns, junior engineers, and board medics with too much free time and not enough supervision. Boredom breeds scheming. The ensigns start joking about future Justin, a half mythical figure from the Gopher and Tech timeline, doomed to endlessly edit footage, logs, and mission recordings. They hatch a plan, dump every menial task, repugnant report, and paperwork backlog to future Justin. After all, he's the one who has to deal with it eventually, right? But soon a strange anomaly ripples through the Calliope. Logs repeat themselves in infinite loops, mission footage edit themselves into nonsense blooper reels, and a mysterious voice echoes through the comms. Stop overloading my timeline. Captain Demarius and Josephus return to find their ship haunted by a temporal exhaustion of future Justin. So the lower deck crew gleefully explains their prank. You thought you'd know future Justin will handle it. You were just kidding. We didn't think we'd actually summon him. Future Justin manifests as a stressed out holographic figure, dragging a giant editing console behind him, sighing loudly. He warns, if the burden continues, the timeline will collapse into an infinite loop. Alright, so let's see. I'm looking at these options here, and how about let's drink drink some Dubby and um let's rebalance the timeline. I'm going to roll here. Let's see. I got I rolled a 17. Yeah. Let's see. For future Justin. All right. So roll a 17. The target difficulty was 15. Um, the Calliope's load decks are littered with half-finished reports, looped mission logs, and broken comm panels endlessly repeating, like, comment, subscribe. The exhausted hologram of future Justin flickers on the view screen, drowning in an ocean of editing consoles. Josephus, jittering with W-fueled energy, hauls his toolkit over. Don't worry, future Justin. W's gonna give me focus, energy, no crash. With this, I can reroute all the dumb busy work back to the crew that dumped in the first place. I'm just thinking, like, I watch you plenty enough. You think I could figure out how to do a better New York accent? He slams the cables into the core processors, duct tapes a W cam to the EPS manifold, and growls at the console like he owes them rent. So success, the task deflector lights up, glowing neon pink from W residue. Backlog reports, corrupted footage, and redundant logs suddenly vanish from future Justin's console. Across the ship, engines yelp as if half-finished reports phys- as half-finished reports physically rematerialize on their desks. The feedback loop collapses. The temporal anomaly stabilizes. Future Justin sigh in relief. Finally, my timeline. It's clear again. I can breathe. Actually, save me. So Captain Damarius straightens, satisfied. A Starfleet crew does not survive by overwhelming the future. We face our responsibilities with dignity, with grace, and with eyeliner intact. Josephus grins, wiping frosting from his beard. And with Debbie Cap. I was with Debbie. I don't know if that was the future Justin dryly fading away. Thanks for pulling the plug. The anomaly closes, leaving the Calliope back in normal space. The ensigns grumble about paperwork, but the timeline is safe. Captain Demarius adds one last log entry. The future is never someone else's burden to carry. Each of us owns a share, and when we pull it off, the cost is chaos. When we push it off, the cost is chaos. Sorry. Today we learned a lesson with a sponsor's discount, 10%. So, well, we've had this happen before. Like, we've solved the issue right away. Man, finally, absolutely. So I think we have one more game of this for checking the future, and we'll figure out something different for the next season. And we'll talk more about that in next week. I feel like that'll be appropriate. Um, yeah, and talking about future things. Well, do you have any comments on what just transpired there? All right, future Justin was saved. Yeah. Well, I'll ask future Justin something, but I don't think he's gonna appear. Actually, no, there he is right now. I knew you'd come along. So, I'm wondering if future Justin can tell me what's going on in Gopher and Tuck. Will he do that? Yeah. Oh, play some football. Got Tony Pepperoni and TJ. Frank the Medicine Man. That's it. I can't remember. Uh, uh, well, let's still see Donkey Kong. Yeah. Ah, ah. Back to the start. And, you just celebrated your, 5,000th video. That was a very fun. Yeah. I really appreciated seeing, furry Gopher once again. Yeah, and it's pretty fun seeing the evolution, like how at first you're very quiet. Yeah. Sad. What the hell, Gopher like, "Son of a nice lady." Can you believe that? And, I also really appreciated, I thought it was funny that Tuck back then in one of the videos, I can't remember which one, he talks about Trump, and then, like, oh, it's like nothing changed. I well, no, he still I think he made a joke like Trump's a great president or something back then. Yeah, and, yeah, and now president once again, like, the more things change, the more they stay the same. Yes. But, Gopher and Tux always involving. Anyway, though, so I promised the people on Blue Sky and True Social that we'd talk about old Charlie Kirk. Yeah, he got assassinated. Man. Yeah, I'll say, uh, it's sad. Like, he had a family, though. Yeah, oh, yeah, uh-huh, yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, I bet. Oh, wow. And the thing is, like, people talk about how amazing he is, and the thing is, I tried to think of, like, him, what impact he left, and reality is he's just a propagandist, and he's gonna be replaced, he wasn't that special, I mean, he's just doing. Oh, yeah. So much, so shows you how much these people really care about Charlie. I mean, to him, he's just a martyr that they could use and to call upon violence, to call for violence. Mhm. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's that's why I wanted to talk about. I was watching. I found out he died when after I heard he was shot. I decided to just watch. Well, I have a True Social account, and obviously I posted on there. And I decided to look up that company Charlie works for, Real America Voice or something like that, and they have a stream on True Social, and I just popped in, and they were covering the event, the event live, the happening, and they announced first that Charlie had been died preemptively. Obviously, I mean they should have waited till the family announced that publicly, but these people aren't credible media journalists. No, no, they said it before Trump. Yeah, yeah. They said it before Trump, and um, about 10 minutes into that, after they announced Charlie had died, and Trump had posted that like too by then. A lady came onto that show and was saying how this shows how violent the left are, and that she was like making a call. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, and she was saying. Yeah. Yeah, and I just wanted to say, like, this lady calling for violence, like, and the way she did it was like, well, someone's gonna have to do something to stop what's going on. And this is after she said, like, oh, the liberals killed Charlie. Yeah, and with that, even if it was someone who's trans and there was a trans shooter recently, even if it was a liberal, but yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. And they don't care. It's just like trans. It's like a different like. But the point I wanted to make is, no matter what, these people who commit these acts, they're mentally ill. Like, I mean, their politics can be whatever, but sometimes it's apolitical. Like, the guy who tried to assassinate Trump, that first one, he w he was looking up where Biden was gonna be too, and Trump just had a event much closer to him. He seemed to want to just do kill someone who was famous, and like, of course, like the president or the former president, like whichever. I think. what happened there maybe wasn't apolitical, but just kill all these members of the deep state, perhaps. I mean, I haven't looked into much like after the incident, and like I don't really care to. And this thing with Charlie, I don't know how politically driven the shooting was. Like, this could have been another thing where, I think about like the assassination of Shinzo Abe. That wasn't a politically driven assassination. It's just like that Shinzo Abe was just a member of a cult that took took all the money of the shooter's mom. So it's like, I gotta stop this man. Um, yeah, I, I guess like everything's political, but still, it's not like, oh, he's a conservative, so he's gotta go. It wasn't that. Um, but yeah, we just have to remember, no matter what the person is, even if they're white and cisgendered, like the thing is, whoever does these acts, they're just mentally ill, and um it is troublesome to see the fact that a lot of the shooters are these extremist right wingers. Like, I don't mean like, oh, they're Republican or something. I mean like, they're Nazis. Although, yeah. And yeah, absolutely. And um before we uh end on that, you know, it, Charlie, it's too bad he died. And the thing is, yeah, I'm not saying that I feel especially bad for him or anything. It's just that him being killed isn't gonna make the world better, and it's probably gonna make the world worse. Because there's gonna be blowback from this. I mean, Trump loves his TV personalities, and mm, yeah, it's just the thing is like, I don't know why the shooter killed Charlie, but he's just a propagandist. Like, he's not a big important politician like Trump or a U.S. senator. There's gonna be someone who jumps in this position and debates kids at a college. I mean, sure, it takes some skill, but Ben Shapiro's still alive. Yeah, they can find other people to do that. He's very replaceable. Um, yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Um, Absolutely. It's awful thing. Um, you know, thought, you know, thoughts to his family. It's too bad it happened, but even I think like if I become famous like that, I'll be a target, and that's just reality. And to feel bad about like someone who's like, oh, I'm going to say that it's okay to have some people die for the Second Amendment. Like, I mean, ultimately, we can be happy for him because he got to live his truth, and he's with God now. So, I mean, like, right? Oh, that's terrible. Anyway, guys, yeah, he hated him. He hated him. I don't even know. I know Mark MLK likes Star Trek. I don't think Charlie did. Yeah, thanks for reminding me. And, how about yeah, not that one. We'll watch that next week, and I mean, if you wanna watch along, and we'll discuss that next week, and then the actual finale of this season of Trekking the Future, Justin will finish, or I believe he will, start his Prodigy. Um, Ragnarok. Is it Ragnarok or Supernova? I feel like I get that wrong. I don't know where I get Ragnarok. Anyway, guys, thanks for joining us. Have a great rest of your week, and have a good and bye. Bye.